Imagine stepping outside and within seconds your eyelashes freeze together. Your breath doesn't drift away, it freezes in midair and falls to the ground as tiny crystals, a phenomenon locals call the whisper of the stars. Now imagine this isn't a survival expedition. This is just Tuesday. This is people walking to work, children going to school, grandmothers selling fish in an open-air market with no freezer because the air itself is colder than any freezer you own. Welcome to Yakutsk, the coldest city on planet Earth, where the temperature can drop to -64 degrees Celsius, and where turning off your car engine could leave you stranded, permanently. How do over 300,000 people not just survive, but build entire lives here? Stick around, because what you're about to see will make your worst winter feel like a warm summer day. First, where exactly is this frozen world? Yakutsk sits in eastern Siberia, on the banks of the mighty Lena River, and it's the capital of Russia's Sakha Republic. It lies almost 5,000 kilometers from Moscow, so far that there's a 6-hour time difference within the same country. Founded in the 17th century as a small wooden Cossack fortress, it has grown into a sprawling city of more than 300,000 people. That makes it not just a remote outpost, but a real functioning city with schools, universities, shops, a film festival, and even a lively music scene. But here's the incredible part. Yakutsk is the largest city on Earth built entirely on continuous permafrost ground that stays frozen solid all year round. And that single fact shapes absolutely everything about life here. So just how cold does it get? Let's put it in perspective. The average temperature across the entire year is around -7.5 degrees Celsius. In December, the average daily temperature is -37, and the coldest temperature ever recorded here, a staggering -64.4 degrees Celsius, that's nearly -84 degrees Fahrenheit. To understand that number, at these temperatures, if you throw a cup of boiling water into the air, it vanishes into an instant cloud of ice crystals before it ever hits the ground. And winter here isn't just cold, it's dark. During the deepest months, Yakutsk gets fewer than 4 hours of sunlight per day. A thick, freezing mist called ice fog hangs over the streets, sometimes cutting visibility to less than 5 meters. The whole city becomes a ghostly haze of breath, snow, and shadow. Just a few hundred kilometers away lies the village of Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on Earth, where the temperature once hit an almost unimaginable -71 degrees. But for a full-size city, nowhere on Earth is colder than Yakutsk. Now the question everyone asks, what actually happens to your body if you stay outside too long? At -50 degrees, exposed skin can suffer frostbite in minutes. Here, frostbite isn't a rare danger, it's a daily calculation. Every resident learns to keep their skin covered because bare flesh in this cold begins to freeze almost immediately. Locals have a saying, to survive you must dress like a cabbage, layer after layer after layer. People wrap themselves in thick furs and padded fabrics until only their eyes are visible to the world. 2 scarves, 2 pairs of gloves, multiple hats and hoods. As one resident put it, you can't fight the cold, you either adjust and dress for it or you suffer. Breathing itself becomes a challenge. The air is so cold it can hurt your lungs. Metal becomes dangerous, touch it with a bare hand and your skin can freeze to it instantly. Even eyeglasses can freeze to your face. Stay out too long unprepared and the cold doesn't just hurt, it can kill within an hour. So how do people handle everyday life, the ordinary chores we all take for granted? Take grocery shopping. In Yakutsk's famous open-air markets, vendors sell fish standing straight up, frozen solid like wooden planks. There's no need for a refrigerator or freezer, the outside air is the freezer. Milk is sometimes sold frozen in solid blocks. Meat, fish, berries, all kept perfectly preserved by nature itself. Waiting for the morning bus in -40 degrees is simply part of the routine. Buses are heated, taxis run constantly, and people move quickly between warm buildings, spending as little time outdoors as possible. Homes are built on tall concrete stilts driven deep into the permafrost. Why? Because if buildings sat directly on the ground, the heat from inside would melt the frozen soil beneath, and the entire structure would sink and crack. So the whole city stands slightly raised above the earth. And plumbing, water and heating pipes can't be buried underground where they'd freeze, so in many places they run above ground, wrapped and insulated, snaking between the buildings like the veins of the city. But what about the children? Do kids really go to school in this? The answer is yes. Remarkably, schools in Yakutsk normally stay open, even in brutal cold. Classes are only canceled when temperatures drop below roughly -55 degrees Celsius. Below that threshold, the youngest children switch to online lessons from home. Think about that. In much of the world, a few centimeters of snow cancels school. Here, children bundle up and trek to class in temperatures that would be considered a life-threatening emergency almost anywhere else on Earth. And the adults, they rarely get a day off at all. Life doesn't stop for the cold, it simply adapts around it. People go to work, run businesses, and keep the city alive through the darkest, coldest months of the year. Now here's one of the strangest survival rules of all: what happens to vehicles. In Yakutsk, drivers rarely ever turn their engines off in winter. If you switch off your car and leave it in -50 degrees, the engine oil thickens like glue, fuel lines freeze, rubber cracks, and the battery dies. The car may simply never start again. So people leave their engines running for hours, overnight, sometimes for days at a time throughout the entire winter. Cars often have double-glazed windows like houses to keep the interior from freezing. Some drivers keep a second protective blanket over the hood to trap engine heat. In the nearby village of Oymyakon, this rule is even stricter. Cars left outside must be kept running constantly, because once they stop, they won't restart until spring. In this part of the world, a running engine isn't a luxury, it's survival. Which brings us to the biggest question of all: with such punishing, dangerous conditions, why do people choose to live here? The answer is beautifully human. For the people of Yakutsk, this isn't a frozen prison, it's home. Many are Yakuts, an indigenous people whose ancestors have thrived in this land for centuries. Their culture, their traditions, their families, and their entire history are rooted in this frozen soil. The city is also rich in resources, surrounded by gold and diamond mines that provide work and prosperity. But it's more than economics. Residents speak of a deep pride and a powerful sense of community. When the cold is this extreme, people depend on one another, and that forges a warmth between them that outsiders find unmistakable. And here's a surprising twist: Yakutsk isn't frozen all year. In summer, temperatures can soar to +30 degrees or higher, a swing of nearly 100 degrees between seasons, one of the most extreme on the planet. Locals use those precious warm weeks to repair their homes and prepare for the winter ahead, and remarkably, many don't even long for summer at all. They love their land exactly as it is. As one resident said, standing in the icy mist, "You don't really feel the cold. Maybe the brain just prepares you and tells you everything is normal." Because in the end, home is home, even when it's the coldest place on Earth. Yakutsk is proof of something extraordinary, that human beings can adapt to almost anything. Where the rest of us see an impossible, deadly wasteland, an entire city sees home, full of life, laughter, school runs, markets, and warmth. So the next time you complain that it's cold outside, remember the people of Yakutsk sipping hot tea at -60 and smiling. If you enjoyed this journey into the coldest city on Earth, do one small thing that keeps this channel alive: hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Every single week, I bring you incredible stories from the most extreme and fascinating places on our planet, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching and stay warm out there. See you in the next one.